Hey everybody, so a few things that I'm going to touch base on. I've been asked why I'm always wearing a sweater in like 90% of my videos. So when I was younger, I had a really high fever and doctors gave me Tylenol that caused my fever to go even higher. And so from what I was told, I was less than a year old. The doctor immediately took me and ran me into an ice bath. Jumped in, him, me, everything. After that point, I've always been cold. I always, I depend on my surroundings to keep myself warm. It could be 90 degrees in the summer. I'm standing in the shade. I have a hoodie on. I live in Texas. This is not a good idea. But it's just something that doctors still can't figure out. The closest thing that one of my doctors has told me is that he thinks when I was put in the ice bath is like my body's internal thermostat broke. And so I'm constantly depending on my surroundings. And I guess I'm like a reptile. So I constantly need a heat source. So that being said, that's why I'm always wearing hoodies. So where we left off was I had a doctor's appointment on Thursday with the spine specialist to go over the results of my MRI. It's been kind of a hard pill to swallow, but I have degenerative disc disease and also I have spinal arthritis. And the doctor said there's nothing they really can do. Part of it is because the steroid injections that I would need to help alleviate some of the pain that I have are not covered by insurance. Because insurance refuses to cover injections that are given in a doctor's office. These type of injections, they want them to be done outside of a doctor's office. Which is funny because they have to be injected precisely and almost into my spine. So, yeah, I'm going to let Joe Schmo off the street. And no, not going to happen. So, I have to see pain management. As of right now, I'm not on any pain meds. It's been kind of rough. It still is rough. I have shooting pains down my legs, which will never go away. A lot of pain in my lower back, and especially when it's cold. I used to have a heating blanket that I would sit on, but it died. And so I'm trying to currently find another heated throw. Living in Texas, and that's not easy, I tell you. My doctor actually said I needed to go to Cleveland to get one. Right now I have a heating pad, but I'll show you what it does. This is my lovely heating pad. It's kind of bunched up, and I just put it where the pain is the most and just go from there. It just sits there and it's bunched up. It's uncomfortable, but it helps a little bit. So last week I got a call from my doctor's office and they said, "Oh, your blood results are in. The doctor wants to meet with you to go over them." Okay. That sounds fun. So I get there, I do the pleasantries. Okay. Doctor tells me, your good cholesterol is too low, your bad cholesterol is too high, your glucose is just slightly a little too high. What we're going to do is we're going to have you exercise some more and watch what you eat, and we'll check back in 3 months. Seriously looked at him and said, "Seriously, dude? You couldn't have told me that over the phone? I had to drive from Fort Worth to Arlington for you to tell me this and say, oh, we'll check back in 3 months. You could have told me that over the phone." Irritated the crap out of me. Don't get me wrong, I love my doctor, but that was just slightly irritating. I have to go see another orthopedic specialist for my hips. A couple years ago we found out that one of my hips sits up here and one of my hips sits down here. And so it causes me a lot of pain. My hips pop out of socket quite a bit. It's just not fun. The orthopedic specialist that I saw on Thursday is just for the spine. So he said, yeah, he saw a little bit on the MRI, but he can't tell me exactly, and I have to go see another doctor. Yay, we're adding another doctor into the mix. So that's where Friday left off. I was supposed to go see the gastroenterologist about my hiatal hernia and about my gastroparesis. I was diagnosed with that. It's been 3 years now. Hasn't been an easy pill to swallow either. Basically being told there's nothing they can do. For those of you that don't know, gastroparesis basically breaking down is stomach paralysis. The test that they do, it's called a gastric emptying study. And with somebody who doesn't have gastroparesis, their stomach with the food they give you, which is, for me, they told me it was the equivalent of 3 scrambled eggs. And then it's 2 slices of toast and a cup of water about this big. They put radioactive material over the eggs, and you have to eat it all. For me, this is a problem. I can't eat that much. It makes me sick. But you have to eat it all. And you have to keep it down without anti-nausea meds or anything else. Again, another difficult thing. I've done 3 of them. I can't do another. I told my husband, I told my family, I'm not doing it. I can't. The last one was the most painful and horrific because I fought so bad not to throw up. So when they do this test, they do imaging for an hour. They do it for, you lay down, they check you in an hour, you lay down, and then they check you in another hour, you lay down, and they keep on doing this until you reach the max of 4 hours. Once you reach your stomach's 90% empty, you're done. Most people reach that after 2 hours. At 4 hours, when they have to stop the test, they can't do it anymore. My stomach, mind you, with eating the equivalent of 3 scrambled eggs and 2 slices of toast and an 8-ounce glass of water, was only 10% empty. A normal person's takes 2 hours. So that just shows you how slow my stomach works. There are days where I can't eat. Not because I don't want to. Not because I don't know that I need to. I don't get hungry. I don't have hunger pains that much anymore. Sometimes I go through the revolving cycle of where I'll constantly be hungry, but yet I'm constantly getting sick. I usually in the morning will have 2 slices of toast and that's it. I'm done. I can't do anymore. It hasn't been fun. As far as the hiatal hernia goes, my doctor wants me to look into getting it repaired because he thinks that's what's been making me have a lot of my chest and abdominal pain, because he thinks it's holding stomach acid and it's just sitting there, or food, and it hurts. There are times that I feel like I can't breathe. It's really hard. So I have to call back tomorrow and see what they're doing with that because they had to cancel it because a pipe burst in the office. Woo. So that goes Friday. Saturday, thanks to our lovely, amazing friend, we were able to take the boys out to qualifying day for the Xfinity NASCAR series. And we were not sure how this was going to go because Matt crowds, random people talking to him, stuff like that, noises, it just usually doesn't go very well. But we wanted to give it a try because they were given to us for Bradley's birthday. And so we figured we'll give it a try. My goal was to make it through 100 of the 200 laps. We first started having signs of trouble. We hadn't even made it from the parking lot to the stadium. There were a lot of people walking, and Matt was just like, nope, can't do it. He wanted Daddy to hold him and carry him. Okay, that's fine. While walking around, people would try to talk to Matt, and he would hide. There's one lady that was standing next to a go-kart that Matt said, go-kart. And she goes, yeah, go-kart. And he says, cool, go-kart. We said, yeah, cool, go-kart. So we get in. We're probably in the stands an hour before the race starts, which is all fine because I wanted to try to get Matt used to a little bit of the noise before it was going. We were doing okay, and then the car started racing, and Matt would just start screaming. He had the earmuff covers like this, and Bradley had the little ones that stuck in your ear. And Matt would he didn't like it. So we would have to go out, down through the bleachers and into the concrete part of the stadium. And it wasn't quite as loud, but it took me 3 or 4 trips of doing this before I finally figured out exactly what was bothering Matt. It wasn't the noise. It wasn't the people. It was the vibrations from the cars driving around. That's when I figured out that's why he didn't want to keep his earmuffs on. Because I put them on my head, and when the cars would drive around, they would vibrate really bad. So we had a couple of meltdowns, mini meltdowns, and then we had one massive meltdown where Matt just lost it. Joe didn't realize he had bringing him up from what he thought was a mini meltdown. And I looked at Matt, and Matt was crying. And I said, oh, no. I grabbed Matt immediately, took him down below the bleachers and stuff into the concrete area and got him away. And we walked around a little bit, and I asked him, I said, do you want to go home? I see car space. I see cars. Okay. You ready to go back up? No. Okay, that's fine. We can wait down here. And I told him that. We walked by the concession stand, grabbed him a soda, and he said, I go now. Okay. And we walked up the bleachers, and he did pretty good. There was a older gentleman that sat in the row behind us towards the end of the aisle. And he had noticed earlier Matt having his meltdowns. And he asked me if he was okay. And I told him, I said, Matt has sensory processing disorder, and, that he's being tested for autism. And he said, oh, okay, well, you enjoy your race. So the man would disappear downstairs and come back up, and he was having his little smoke break. Well, after he came back up, one time he had a bag of peanuts. No big deal for anybody else. And Matt just kind of watched him crack open the shell of the peanut and eat them. I was just staring at him, and you could see the wheels turning like Matt was trying to figure out what this guy was doing. And the guy motioned to me, because we couldn't really hear with the cars racing around, if it was okay to give Matt a peanut. You know what, dude? Go for it. Go for it. There are several things that made me ecstatic about this. Matt didn't know this man. And even though he wasn't talking to him, he still wasn't running away from him. That made me happy. 2, Matt doesn't eat nuts. We've tried. He usually just spits them right back out. Matter of fact, we've even done peanut M&Ms. Usually spits them right back out. So I wanted to see what was going to go on. So the gentleman told Matt to put his hand like this, and he didn't understand it. So then he touched Matt, which is another issue that Matt has with people. He doesn't like strange people that he doesn't know touching him. Heck, sometimes he doesn't even allow us to touch him. So I watched, and he kind of flinched for a second, and the guy backed off, and he goes, I'm going to put this in your hand. And so Matt looked at him, and he said, okay. And he put it in his hand, and Matt immediately clasped his hand and ran over to me and goes, Mommy, look. And so I did. And I was like, oh, eat, Matt, eat. And he looks at me like, what? And so he looked down at the peanuts in his hand, and he picked one up, and he put it in his mouth. And you could just see the expression on his face was like, oh my goodness, this is amazing. He kept on going over to the man and asking, more he doesn't verbalize very well. He just motions, And the man was like, yeah, kept on giving him. He was really awesome. One time that I went down when Matt was having a little bit of meltdown, I caught him and I said, what do I owe you for the peanuts? I thank you so much. Something that seemed so small to everybody else was a really big thing in our world. And he says, it's nothing. He said, I noticed if I could keep him distracted, everybody else could enjoy the race, meaning me, Joe, and Bradley could enjoy the race and watch it. I was still watching Matt, making sure he wasn't, that he was okay and he wasn't getting too overwhelmed. But I was actually able to somewhat enjoy the race and watch it and watch my child be happy. And that was awesome. I will never know this man's name, but I know that he is an amazing person. So we came home, the kids crashed hard. We were at the races most of the day, and the kids crashed hard. I think we got home about 6 o'clock, and the kids were just done. They were down for the count, so that was pretty good. This week has been a little crazy. Dad has appointments almost every day. Tomorrow, Matt has back-to-back therapy. Today was Bradley's checkup, his ADHD checkup, and his 6-year checkup. Bradley is 46 pounds, 8 ounces, and 46 inches tall. The nurse, Miss Joyce, we love her to death, joked he's a pound per inch, which we all giggled about. Bradley did really good. Thankfully, he's 6. Oh my goodness. If many of you who have been following the blog or the Facebook page, or just in my family in general, know we've been battling since May to continue to keep Bradley on his ADHD medication. And Texas passed a statute or whatever that children under the age of 6 are not to get ADHD meds. Excuse me. So that's been hard. It's been pretty trying in the house. He's been doing pretty good off his meds, but he still has moments where he's like, Mom, when can I start my meds again? When can I have them back? So now that Bradley is officially 6, we refilled his meds today, and he will start back on his Vyvanse in the morning. It'll take about two weeks to get into his system. At the most, it may take just a couple of days. It just depends on Bradley and his system. The doctor also upped Bradley's nighttime medication, because if any about ADHD, it's like a hamster is on speed running on a wheel. It never stops. That's how Bradley's brain is. Even when he tries to go to sleep, the hamster's still running. It can't stop. So he has to take medication to kind of help the hamster slow down and go to sleep. He's been on this medication for a year almost, and we just upped the dose because he's been waking up in the middle of the night, climbing into our bed. Mommy, I can't sleep. I'm awake at 2 o'clock in the morning. Bradley, it's 2 o'clock in the morning. Go to bed, go to sleep, and then he just wakes up. So that's been rough. I've been burning it at both ends of the candles, so to speak. It's been kind of trying. We did get my car fixed. That was insane. So I have to get her registered and the inspection done, because in the state of Texas you have to have a lovely inspection done on your vehicle. So we have to do that, and then we also have to get Joe's inspection done and get his car re-registered and everything. So luckily his registration is only going to cost us $3 because he's got disabled veteran plates. So that makes me so happy. We just have to transfer the plates from his old truck over to this truck, and we'll be fine. Going forward, I said Matt has therapies tomorrow, so I have a long day. He has feeding therapy in the morning, and then we have about a 2-hour break, but it's not where it takes almost an hour to drive out to the therapy center. So it's not worth driving back just to turn around and drive back out to the therapist's place. So usually what I do is we'll go to McDonald's and I get him a little kid's meal, whether he eats it or not. If he's hungry, I get it. I may or may not grab me anything to eat. It just depends on cash flow at that point. And then he gets to run around McDonald's for a couple hours and run off some steam and play. And then we go to his occupational therapy. So we were working on last week was trimming Matt's fingernails because he freaks out when you go to trim his nails. And then once you're done, sometimes he'll be like, okay, do it again. And you're like, dude, we already, the half an hour you just spent screaming, we already did it. It's done. So we're working on that. We're also working with getting him to work with different textures and stuff. So hopefully that'll be another thing. I'm not sure what Miss Kim's going to deal with him this week. So another thing I've been asked is how do I keep everything straight? Especially with Matt, because we have to keep track of everything. This is a plum paper planner. And this is how I do Matt's. Let's see, let me get to... Whoops, too far. November. Show you one of the weeks that's already been done. And then one of the weeks that hasn't been done. Okay, so like this is one of the weeks that has been done. And it's breakfast, snack, lunch, snack, dinner, and then like any appointments he has and everything else. I also have little stickers like this to keep track of his 3 Pediasures that he goes through. And this was a good week for Matt. You can see there's a lot of blank space. But this was a good week for him eating. And then like keep track because he has weeks on his meds and then he has weeks off his meds. So that's how I've been doing that. And then I have my planner. So y'all are going to come with me real quick while I go grab it. I have the family planner that I keep everybody's, including Dad's, appointments in. Because trying to keep track of 5 different schedules between my doctor's appointments and Joe's doctor's appointments and Matt's appointments, and it's just, it doesn't happen. Okay, so this is an Erin Condren planner. This is my second one. My dear friend Crystal bought me this one. So here, I'll show you the blank pages first. Okay, so this is just skipping forward to February. This is what the February layout looks like. Let's see if we can spread some light on the situation. Oh, come on. I need a new lamp. This one's being a pain in my butt. Okay, so there's the monthly view. And then here's what the weekly view looks like. And I get my stickers from my friend Crystal. And so, yes, I say stickers because it helps me keep track. Okay, so like this was this week, which I have to go back and fill in some things. But like, say, Dad had PT and OT. Joe had a hearing aid. Bradley had his 6-year checkup and ADHD. Matt has his therapies tomorrow. And then that way, when I'm scheduling events and stuff, or just trying to do anything, I can quickly flip through and do it. So, as you saw before, like, they're blank. I have stickers that I put over them that say Mommy, Miscellaneous, and Boys, and Dad and Joe's appointments go down here. This is also to help me keep track of, like, my symptoms and how Bradley's doing when he gets stars in school, stuff like that. It's really cool. I mean, I like it. We'll have to see if it's going to continue to work for us or not. Because the plum paper planner has 7 slots in it, the family planner. And so that's been a great deal of help for us. So, touching base on that, trying to make sure everybody's asked me of how I keep track, how I do, stuff like that. It's been a rough summer and a rough start of the year with everything going on with the family. And I am so excited for the holidays. Not because of the gifts, not because of the presents or anything, but because the family. We get to see family. Joe's family gets together every Christmas Eve. And we get to see family that we wouldn't normally see. Most of his family lives like an hour and a half away from us. Not even that. It's like 45-minute, an hour drive. Some parts of the family we don't see even though they live that close. But we do miss everybody. And it's a great thing for us all to get together, laugh, enjoy ourselves, and have fun. So, I am so ready for this year to be over. It has been a rough one. Dealing with everything going on with Matt. Dealing with the diagnoses he has. Trying to keep up with my health. Which is not... I'm 28. I shouldn't feel like I'm 50. And that's the hardest part for me. I want to run and play with the kids, but I can't a lot of the time. Sorry, I don't know if you can hear, but Matt's making noise in his bedroom because it's 9 o'clock and he should be asleep. So, if you guys have any questions or anything, let me know. Comment below. You have any things you want answered, I'll try to answer them the best I can. So, I hope you enjoyed my second vlog. I think that's everything, getting everybody up to date. We've been doing really good. I just went through the boys' clothes and was doing the day-to-day stuff and trying to get everything ready as the winter in Texas falls upon us. So my next couple of videos probably may not be vlogs. I'm not sure if I'm going to do these every week or, just every other week. I haven't figured that out yet. Once I figure that out, y'all will know because I'll be posting them. So I have an hour and a half before my bedtime because I have put myself on a strict schedule now. I'm going to start going to bed at a certain time, and then I'm going to be getting up, trying to get myself back on a schedule so where I can sleep. I'm hoping this will help, but I don't know. We'll see. So, night, y'all. Have a great week, and until I talk to you again.